How's it, everyone? Today I'm going to be theory crafting new aspects for Melinoi's weapons in Hades 2 based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters. In Hades 2, Melinoi uses 6 different weapons, and each of those weapons have 4 different aspects, which provide significantly different movesets compared to the original weapons. For these new aspects I'm going to be theory crafting today, I'm going to be looking at how a weapon matches an MCU character's fighting style or the weapons they use in the movies, but mostly I'm going to be looking at just the vibes in general across the weapons and the MCU characters. For this video, I'm just going to be focusing on the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of these characters just to keep my scope narrow and focused. And yeah, let's get into the video. For Zinth, the black coat, I'm going to be giving the aspect of Iron Man. The black coat is a mech suit, it hovers, it shoots missiles, it's high tech, and this matchup is actually what gave me the idea for this video in the first place. Playing the game and unlocking the final weapon, which is the black coat, I'm like, oh my god, they gave Mel an Iron Man suit. I was really excited. The Omega special for this aspect, instead of firing missiles at a range, the Omega special will be a charging move, similar to the Argent Skull's Omega special. Missiles will fly off the sides of the charge path, similar to Iron Man flying above a group of enemies and dropping missiles on them. The attack and Omega attack, instead of close range, wide punches, the attack and Omega attack will be long range, thin beams to mimic Iron Man's repulsor beams that he shoots from his hands. The Omega attack will be a charged up repulsor beam that is wider and stronger to mimic the chest repulsor beam that Iron Man uses. In Hades 2, you can find Daedalus hammers as room rewards that provide significant upgrades to weapons. Some aspects have Daedalus upgrades that are unique just to the changing moveset, so I wanted to kind of complete the picture of the new aspect by assigning a couple weapon upgrades as well. Similar to Cross Cataclysm, which is an upgrade for the Witch's Staff, the aspect of Iron Man will have Repulsor Beam Mark II, which would increase damage of the attack and Omega attack, as well as have the Omega attack extend to the sides as well, similar to Iron Man using the chest and hand repulsor beams at the same time. The aspect of Iron Man would also have Ricochet Repulsor as an upgrade, which would be similar to Static Shock Boon from Zeus. The attacks and Omega attacks would bounce off up to 4 enemies, and the range of the attack would be extended even further. This pays homage to the scenes in the MCU where Iron Man's beams are reflected off stuff like Captain America's shield or Thor's hammer. The aspect of Iron Man would also have Stark Missiles Mark II as an upgrade, which would be similar to the Argent Skull's aspect of Persephone's Omega Special, where you can freely move while charging instead of just being forced in a straight line. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and say thank you for watching the video so far. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, then be sure to like and subscribe. I'm new to the content creation thing, so any small amount of support really helps me out. And yeah, let's jump back into the video. Deskira the Witch's Staff will be getting the aspect of Loki. This changes the Witch's Staff into Loki's Chitauri Scepter. The Omega Cast summons a clone of Melinoi to stand in the center of the Omega Cast, and it draws the attention of enemies' attacks. The clone will also copy whatever attacks and specials that Mel uses. The Daedalus Hammer upgrades, Asgardian Illusion will let Mel use additional Omega Casts instead of being limited to just one, thus summoning multiple clones. Mischief Decoy will let Mel swap places with the clone whenever the cast button is pressed, and this aspect is to relate to Loki's illusory abilities seen throughout the movies, making decoys of himself and being the trickster god. Liminoros the Sister Blades will be getting the aspect of the Black Panther. This changes the blades into vibranium claws. The Omega attack will be similar to the aspect of Artemis with the riposte while charging. This relates to the Black Panther suit absorbing kinetic energy. While charging the Omega attack, any incoming damage is blocked, and then when the Omega attack is released, Melinoi still leaps to the enemy, but when she lands there's a large area of effect around her. She gets stronger based on the amount of damage she absorbs, instead of just being like a flat damage number that's dealt. This is similar to when the Black Panther releases the stored kinetic energy in the movies. The Daedalus Hammer upgrades, the aspect of the Black Panther would have Wakandan Cast. This would cause Mel's Omega Cast to trigger whenever that kinetic energy is released. The other Daedalus Hammer upgrade would be Vibranium Charge, which would decrease the recharge time and increase the damage of the Omega attacks, kinetic energy absorption. Ignium, the Umbral Flames, will get the aspect of the Scarlet Witch. This changes the torches into a copy of the Darkhold with red and black psychic energy hovering in Mel's hands. The Omega attack will have a chance to stun enemies, which is a reference to Wanda's telekinesis power. The Omega special will have a chance to inflict morph on enemies, which is a reference to Wanda's reality warping powers. The Daedalus Hammer upgrade Hex Spread will make any damage dealt to enemies inflict curses from any god currently in Melinoi's Boon pool. special. So for instance, if she had Zeus, Hera, and Hestia boons, any damage dealt has a chance to inflict Blitz, Hitch, or Scorch. Witch's Knowledge increases the chance to stun and inflict Morph with Omega attacks and specials, as well as increases the chance of other curses succeeding. The Moonstone Axe will get the aspect of Thor. This is based on Stormbringer, the axe which Thor gets in Infinity War and wields in Endgame and Love and Thunder. I definitely needed to have Stormbringer somewhere in this video since it's called the Titan Killer in the MCU, and that's what Mel's like doing in the game. The Omega special for Stormbringer will call lightning down in a thinner area of effect, but the magic cost and charge time are lower. I'm thinking like shrinking the standard Omega special area of effect down by 50%, but proportionally decreasing the cost and charge time. The Daedalus Hammer upgrade for the aspect of Thor would be Titan Killer, which would increase attack and special base power by 20, and that increased power would be doubled against Titan bosses, which are Hecate, Prometheus, and Kronos. The other Daedalus Hammer upgrade would be Asgardian Smite, which would call down one instance of the Omega special every time an attack hits an enemy. Not the full Omega special sequence, just like one small area of effect. The Argent Skull will receive the aspect of Moonknight. This changes the Argent Skull into a skull of Khonshu. This would definitely give Mel a badass Moonknight suit like she was an avatar for Khonshu. Yes, I have strong feelings about how the new outfits in the game are only given by one character on one path in one region. We need more fun outfits in games, people. The attack for the aspect of Moonknight would be throwing out a boomerang, which would land and sit in a place and continually spin to deal damage. Once Mel uses her special, the boomerang is recalled and would deal damage on the return path instead of just automatically reloading into Mel's skull slots. The first Daedalus Hammer upgrade will be Phase Change, which gives different stats depending on the phase of the moon when leaving the crossroads. Full moon is a major increase in attack damage, a half moon is a moderate increase in attack damage and moderate increase in resistance, and then a new moon is a major increase in resistance. The Daedalus Hammer Khonshu's avatar will add Khonshu into the boon pool and let Mel pick a Khonshu boon. Congratulations! For watching this far, you've unlocked the secret video inside the video. This video is titled Giving a Hades 2 Boon Set to MCU's Khonshu. The core boons, which are the attack, special, cast, sprint, and mana regen boons, will inflict Fear, which is a new status effect for Khonshu. The Fear status effect will make enemies stop attacking and move away from Mel, the recharge timer that is similar to Freeze, which is Demeter's curse effect. Fearful Surrender is a boon that will make fear-afflicted foes take even more damage. Inherent Fear is a boon that inflicts enemies with fear when they spawn or when Mel enters a room. Fear Phobia is a boon that makes the fear effect last longer. Moon's Night is a boon that makes all Selene boons act as if it's a full moon, giving the full amount of upgrades to use. Unseen Darkness is similar to Unseen Ire from Hades, but instead Mel will go dark and deal extra damage for a short period of time whenever an attack, special, and Omega are landed on an enemy, which are the similar requirements to the Blood Triad with the aspect of Morrigan, but without like the 777 damage. Lunar Life is a boon that makes Fountain restore a Death Defiance, and gives one Death Defiance to Malinois to use. The legendary boon for Khonshu is Moon's Ransom, which gives up all boons from anyone else, and for each boon given up, it raises the level of each Khonshu boon, and then all future boons from other gods are also feed into this level, and all new Khonshu boons retroactively get this effect. The idea of this is Mel completely giving herself over to be an avatar for Khonshu and foregoing any other boon from other gods. And then all duo boons will make fear be inflicted on enemies whenever the corresponding god's curse is inflicted, and these are named based on the core boon attacks. Also, there is secretly a third crossover video that you've been listening to this entire time, so drop a comment below to guess what that third crossover video is. And those are my theory-crafted Hades 2 weapon aspects that are based on Marvel Cinematic Universe characters. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. I'm new to content creation, so any small amount of support really helps me out. Whether it's a like, comment, or subscription to the channel, I'm always thinking of new crossover style videos to make, so don't miss the next one. Also, you should go back and check out the other crossover videos I've done. One of the previous ones I did was giving Malinois a Pokemon team. I also stream on Twitch, so you should go follow me over there. I mostly stream Hades 2 speedruns recently, but I play a handful of other indie roguelikes and Nintendo games. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.